Wow, that was some kind of a shopping trip. There's a lot of groceries we've got here. We just got back from the grocery store to getting all of our ingredients for our Titanic dinner party. And it turned out to be a little harder than we thought. We had to go to more than one store, and that may happen to you too. Alrighty, let's go. We have developed our own menu for our Titanic dinner out of all of the recipes in the book, and we have come up with 11 dishes that we're going to cook.
For our first course, we picked canapes a la Emerald. Followed by that, we're going to do a cream of barley soup, which will lead into our 3 entrees of a poached salmon with mussolini sauce, a chicken lyonnaise, and a calvados glazed roast duck. After those, we're going to try to slow it down a little bit and give you an asparagus salad with a champagne saffron vinaigrette, and a pâté de foie gras is to follow that one. Now we're going to hit the sweets, or desserts as they may call after dinner snacks, with a chocolate eclairs with a vanilla ice cream. Next course will be a blood orange sorbet that we chose. And the final course, actual meal course that you'll be eating, is a fruit and cheese tray of your liking. And after that, you can just sit back and relax and enjoy a cup of coffee with your guests.
Instead of putting all the ingredients out and showing you what we bought, we decided that we would just address some of the ones that were a little challenging for us. Shrimp, of course, was no problem. Every good grocery store has a good seafood department now. But the caviar presented somewhat of a problem. We don't buy a lot of caviar, and we had to do some investigating. You can buy caviar on the internet. You can buy caviar at a gourmet grocery store. We chose Whole Foods because we're lucky to have one here, and they had it. When you see the caviar, you also have to do some more investigating. There are lots of kinds of caviar, and we
went with the Atlantic salmon roe. Recipe calls for flying fish roe, but that was not an option when we went into Whole Foods, so we went with the one that was most affordable and easily accessible, which is the salmon roe. You can also, go a little bit higher to the beluga if you'd like, but you can choose whatever is more appropriate for your party. Next would be the garlic. Now, a lot of the recipes called for whole garlic, and so we just went ahead and got a jar of minced garlic to save us some time, and we don't have to waste chopping all the garlic. Now, the next one is salt pork. Now, the soup calls for salt pork. If your grocery store doesn't have salt pork, you can go with a thick cut bacon in either smoked or unsmoked, whatever your preference would be.
Another challenge for us was the barley. We knew that grocery store had barley in it all right, we just couldn't find it. So you can find barley in the hot cereal department, but even then you're going to have to look around for it. We also had to kind of look around the produce department for an English cucumber, but I'm sure it's going to be worth it. We're looking forward to it.
Now, in the poached salmon, it calls for clarified butter. You can clarify your own butter at home. It doesn't take much time. But at the store, if you're in Whole Foods or in your specialty store where you're finding your caviar, you can also more than likely find what's called ghee. It's G-H-E-E. And it's already clarified butter for you. You just take it out and use it as needed. It's very helpful, and it cuts some step out of your preparation process.
We're certainly capable of making our own beef stock and chicken stock, as I'm sure you are too. But to save some time, we chose to buy some of those good stocks that are on the market now.
With the duck, it depends on what season you're going to go into, but ducks are going to be most readily available in the holiday season, either Thanksgiving or Christmas. So the recipe calls for a whole roasted duck, and if you have it, go for it. But if you can't, some may have frozen duck breasts already, or even fresh duck breasts. We went ahead and got 4 duck breasts for our own use. It just makes more sense to us to just go with a breast, and that doesn't have to waste much time on the whole other duck. Now with the calvados, which is going to be the glaze on the duck, if you can't find calvados, it's just a French brandy made in the lower Normandy region. We're just going to use our brandy that we have here in the house, and it's going to save us some time and money.
We also decided to buy our pâté de foie gras. I'm sure we could figure out how to make it. Justin could, but I don't know that I could. So we're going to purchase that, as we're also going to purchase our sorbet. There's a recipe to make the sorbet, but we chose to purchase ours. And we also had to change one of the dishes on our menu. Number one, we couldn't find one of the ingredients. Peaches are not in season in our part of the country now, and the liqueur, the, what do you call it?
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse. The chartreuse was $60 a bottle, and we only needed a quarter of a cup.
So we decided to pass that one up and go with chocolate-covered eclairs and vanilla ice cream. I mean, I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So another option that we had, or item I shall say, is the saffron. The asparagus salad with champagne saffron vinaigrette is a little bit harder to find, but if you're in your Whole Foods, I'm sure if you ask around, somebody was going to be able to help you find it. It's one of the highest priced spices in the world, but it's definitely worth it in taste and flavor. If you can't find the saffron, that's easily no problem. Tarragon will work fine. It has a great flavor profile and adds a lot to the salad and without taking away anything from the saffron.